Good morning. Welcome to the front garden at Wild Carrot Herbs. This is Misha Schuler, and we're looking at St. John's wort this morning. This is a first-year St. John's wort plant, Hypericum perforata. And the word perforata actually describes that if we were to harvest or pick one of these leaves and then hold it up to the sky or to the sun, it would look as though there were little holes or perforations in the leaves. And I think that those little perforations aren't truly holes, they're vacuoles, which are storage containers inside the plant. But it sure looks like there are holes, and there's something to be said for this in terms of the way St. John's wort can close the holes of our psyche or our energy center. And then after several years, or after the first year, we'll get St. John's wort plants that look beautiful and tall like this. They get about 2 feet tall, and the flowers are this lovely yellow and with 5 petals. Let me see if I can kind of get that in better focus for you. Let's see, how about this one? So generally speaking, yellow flowers have a relationship with the solar plexus, the third chakra, the stomach. And we know that St. John's wort has a strong affinity for serotonin receptors of the belly, and also has a strong relationship with our liver. It helps to clear certain medications, particularly medications that affect our endocrine system and our hormonal pathways more rapidly. So in the sense that if you're taking a hormonal medication, it won't be in your body as long as it might be otherwise if you weren't taking this. So it clears it more rapidly by stimulating the CYP450 pathway. So testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, thyroid medication, steroids, these are all examples of things that are going to be cleared more rapidly with St. John's wort in the system. So not an appropriate plant to take with oral contraceptions unless there's a really clear explanation or reason to do that. The other thing that's really interesting about 5-petaled plants is that I often associate 5-petaled plants with the sense of embodiment, the 4 limbs and the head. And you'll notice, or perhaps you won't be able to notice, but I'm hoping that since we've zoomed in a little bit, it's hard to see, but there's these little dots on the edges of the petals of the St. John's wort flowers. And those little dots, they look black, but they're actually, they contain a red constituent, hypericin, that creates this incredible red oil. This is St. John's wort and olive oil. And when it sits in the sun for a period of time, it becomes this gorgeous red color. And this is really specific for topical application, and it has an SPF of about 5. My thought process is that the beautiful red color is reflecting back the red rays of the sun, and therefore, and the red part of the light wave spectrum is actually pretty large. So I think that's how it's really helping our bodies to reduce sunburn. What we also know is that if we take St. John's wort internally, it can also increase photosensitivity. And here, St. John's wort is demonstrating that there's a topical remedy for reducing the impact of taking the plant inside the body. Also to say that this is a really specific plant for herpes simplex viruses, for chickenpox, shingles, feline herpes, and that's what's happening in our house right now. Our moonbeam has an eye infection. It happened from hunting a vole, and he got a scratch on his eye, and apparently he was born with feline herpes. We didn't know that. It was given to him by his kitty mama at birth through the birth canal, and it was lying dormant, and when he got the scratch on the cornea, the herpes went into his eye. And so this is one of the things that we're giving him to help him to feel better. So he's getting about 2 drops at each wet food meal twice a day. mixed in his meal, and then he's getting treats 2 other times a day with 2 drops. This is high dose of St. John's wort. So I usually think of dosing St. John's wort in the case of a cat, 1 drop, or even a human, 1 drop for every 5 pounds. In an acute situation, I might think of 1 drop for every 2 pounds. And this is an acute flare-up, and so doing things acutely with him. He's a pretty big boy. He's about 12 pounds, so he's getting 8 drops a day, and that feels right given the scenario. I will drop that back in about a week or so to probably 2 drops total per day. Also to say that St. John's wort has a really strong affinity for any kind of nerve inflammation, and so that could be having had a burn. The oil topically can be really helpful for reducing the pain of a burn, but also taken internally, any kind of nervous tension that is painful or tingly. St. John's wort can be very helpful for neuralgia, where there's lack of sensation in the nerves, particularly in the feet. If there's diabetic neuropathy. So if someone's on medication again, though, we can't give St. John's wort internally. So with insulin, St. John's wort would be contraindicated as well. But you could apply the topical oil of St. John's wort to the feet. And what I've observed is that within a week, there's usually sensation. Sensation begins to recover in the feet. It's very exciting and deeply powerful. Really makes a difference in people's lives for balance, sense of personal control and power. It's really an incredible plant in that way. This was historically used for ghost pains. So if someone had had an injury, let's say at the end of a limb, or lost an arm or a leg, let's say, if there was still this feeling that the limb was present, this could be rubbed onto the area where the limb was disconnected and reduce that inflammatory discomfort of pain at the end of those nerves. In terms of St. John's wort with mood, what I found is that if a person's mood is related to their digestion, meaning that there's a sense of fullness or agitation or pain or stagnation in the gut, but even in the psyche, that's affecting the belly to do its good work of digesting the food, St. John's wort can really be helpful in that way. Or if there's liver stagnation or incredible anger or heat in the head, upward heat in the head, related to upset or a stagnant quality in the digestive tract, St. John's wort's lovely. We know that there's serotonin receptors in the brain. We also know that there's serotonin receptors in the gut. And I believe that serotonin does most of its work at the level of the digestive tract in supporting mood. All right, friends, this was a long one. Thanks for sticking with me. Lots of external sounds, too. It's exciting. Okay, enjoy your day. Bye for now.